Good morning, artists. It's me, Mr. Noah, and I'm here again with another art class with a new special guest today. This is IG88 from The Empire Strikes Back. Great to have you, IG88. How's it going?
Well, it's great to be here, Mr. Noah. Thanks for having me. Let's do this thing.
That's a great attitude to have, IG88. So today we're going to specifically be talking to just the lower elementary classes, so first, second, and third. If you are a 4th, 5th, 6th grader, 7th grader, 8th grader, or kindergartner, you're more than welcome to try this as well. But this is an extension of something that we did in class at CMP. And if you're not a CMP student, you can also do this project as well. So today we're going to move on to a new type of art form, which is called collage. Collage requires a lot of paper, so first thing you want to do is go find a bunch of different kinds of paper, like printer paper, different kinds of cardstock. If you can find construction paper, that would be awesome. I also found a scrapbooking book that has all kinds of different patterns in it. And I might even use some of my leftover bubble prints that we did from the last class. I might use those too. You might also want to look for old comic books, old books that you don't read anymore that might be falling apart that your parents don't care about, and old magazines. And of course you will need a pair of scissors and a glue stick. If you can't find a glue stick, then regular glue will work. And if you want to get really fancy with it, see if you can find some Mod Podge. Now we're going to start making the collage, and you're going to need some sort of piece of paper or piece of cardboard to glue all of your pieces down to. So what I did was I just found an old cereal box, and then I cut the front and back off. So now I have two nice pieces of stiff paper that I can use for my collage. The collage that we're going to be making today is a landscape. So you can put your paper either direction. You can put it this way or this way. I just decided to do it this way today. So in a landscape, there are three parts. There's the background, the middle ground, and the foreground. Usually the foreground's at the bottom of our paper, the middle ground's in the middle, and the background is at the top of our paper. Background are things like skies and mountains that are super far away. Middle ground is anything that comes between your background and your foreground. And your foreground is usually something nice and big and detailed that sits in the front, right in front of you, and then everything else is behind it. In a second, we're going to start hunting for the different kinds of papers we're going to use, but we need to look for certain colors and textures. In the background, we're going to be making a sky with clouds, so you're going to start looking for purples, blues, grays, and whites for the background. In the middle ground, we're going to make some hills and some grassy places, so you're going to need to find greens and browns. And in the foreground, we're going to make some big trees that kind of overlap everything, and you want those to be dark. It doesn't matter really what color you choose, as long as it's a really dark color. Like this dark red would work probably pretty well. So as you look through your magazines, as you look through your books, look for these colors. They don't have to be exact, but definitely some sort of purpley, light blues for the sky. In the middle ground, we're gonna be looking for some greens and browns. And in the foreground, try to find the darkest colors that you can find. Okay, now we get to start hunting and looking for colors. I spent a little bit of time ripping and cutting things out. I found these really nice purples and blues and whites and grays for my sky and my background. I found all these really interesting greens and patterns for the middle ground, which is going to be hills and mountains and grass. And then I found all these really dark colors, like blacks and grays and dark blues and dark yellows for the foreground, which is going to be trees. Okay, so I grabbed a glue stick, but again, you can use regular glue, you can use Mod Podge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the background first, which is the sky. I'm going to grab some of my blue pieces and gray pieces, and I'm going to try to rip them or cut them into strips like that. So as you make your sky today, try to make pieces that go sideways like this, nice long pieces, and we'll layer them. I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. So I feel like I'm done with the sky. What I really like is that when I ripped this blue paper, it left this white edge, which really looks like clouds to me in the sky. So I'm really happy about that. I even found some pictures of actual clouds in one of the books, so I put those up here. But I think that's a really good start for our background. Okay, now we're gonna work on the middle ground, and I'm gonna do more curvy shapes. As I rip my paper, I'm gonna make more curvy shapes for my hills. So maybe something like that. That'll be the first hill. So I finished my hills, and notice how I overlap them so it looks like the hills are in front of each other and behind each other. And I just brought my hills all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to cover that up in just a minute with my foreground, and then I'm going to create a tree right here. Okay, so I really like where this is going. I like this little hill right here. This is gonna be a nice dark hill, and all the green hills in the background, and this really nice sky. Now I'm gonna create a tree that sits right here in the foreground. You can make as many trees as you want or put anything you want in the foreground. I'm just gonna make it easy for us today. One easy way to make a tree is to fold a dark piece of paper in half, draw half the tree, cut it while it's together. Nice tree. I didn't really like the size of that tree, so I just cut a smaller one. I think that'll fit better on my piece of paper. How this is turning out. Now I just need to trim off the edge. So the way that you do that is you flip it back over, you get your scissors, and you just take your time cutting along the edge, getting all those little extra pieces off the edge of your collage. Okay, artists, that's gonna do it. So this was my finished piece. I really, really like it. And like I said, one last thing that you can do if you really want to is if you have Mod Podge, paint Mod Podge over the whole thing, and when it dries, it'll be nice and smooth and clean and shiny. IG88, how did you do today, buddy?
I think it turned out really good. I'm proud of myself.
Well, I think you did fantastic. I really like this. Do you have someone in your family that's artistic?
Yeah, my mom was an arts and crafts droid.
That makes sense. All right, everybody, please send me pictures, email them to me, and I will post them on my Instagram page, C Serpent Art Room CMP, and you guys can see your pictures posted there. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you next time.